So I want to talk to you about this one guy, right? Um, how do I even talk about this guy? This guy I've known for about 3, 4 years, right? This guy would put me in such bad positive, like bad negative loops, right? Thinking about it now, looking back at it, and like he would put me in such bad fucking moods, man. Now that I think about it, I would always play with this guy, and no matter what you say, you could be so passionate about something. You could be a little bit passionate about something, and he would just say, "Oh, that's gay as fuck." He's one of those guys, right? And that's so rage inducing. That's top tier rage baiting, man. You know, no matter what I say, this guy has something to say to back. I could be talking to myself, and he'll be talking back to me like if I was talking to him. I truly just don't fuck with that type of thing. I don't. I fucking don't. Especially now that I've been reading philosophy and just taking in information and like, holy shit. But this fucking guy, man, this guy, he's a good guy. No matter what he says, it always pisses me off, right? You know, he could say one thing, but in the end, it just kept me thinking the whole fucking time we're in the car, right? Like, oh my god. The whole time I'm just thinking what the fuck to say back to this guy, and it's so contagious, man. It's super contagious. It infects your fucking brain from your own thinking, and all I think about is just all I see is just I just want to talk shit back to the guy, right? Because that's all he does. He's good at fucking talking, right? You ever heard of that saying? You can't beat stupid people in an argument. There's nothing more truth than that. Sorry, I'm just fucking. It's fucking 3:46 a.m. And I just had enough with this fucking guy. I had enough with this guy, and up until recently, he's one of the main factors why I started recording these type. I'm starting to record these videos. And it's just I don't want to be that fucking. I just do not want to be infected by that, man. I'm just tired of that shit. Honestly, I'm just tired of all the fucking bullshit. Everything that's been going on in my life, and I'm sound like I'm fucking yapping and trauma dumping on you, but I just feel like I'm just done with the bullshit. I feel like at a certain age, everyone just gets to a point where it's just like, dude, that's fucking it, brother. Whether that's a heartbreak, uh, separation. It doesn't, my case, it was just this fucking guy, right? He was like the final push in the fucking nail, the final hit on the nail, right? Like, that fucking dagged me up, right? You know, that shit would, sorry, it just would infect me so bad. And that wasn't true. That wasn't the nail in the coffin, right? That wasn't that wasn't the last hit on the fucking nail. It was when I finally got along with this guy, right? Everybody left in this call. It was just me and him, right? I never played with this guy by himself. Maybe a couple times, but I never just this one time, right? This is about I don't know. This is pretty recently. I'm talking to the guy. Um, and honestly, I feel like he's just performative in front of people. He's just that type of guy. Which I found pretty fast, right? Like I was just in the call with him. He wasn't talking shit or anything. Normally, when it's like me and like if it's another guy or another two people, doesn't matter. If there's somebody extra in there with me and him, he's gonna be saying shit. He's just gonna be he's just talk shit the whole fucking time, man. And why am I fucking paranoid looking behind me, bro? What the fuck is wrong with me, man? Lock in. And I'm in the call with the guy. I'm like, you know what? This guy, I've never heard this guy been. I've been vulnerable, right? The thing that's so easy. I guess it's easy for this guy to make fun of people and just to talk shit at me because I'm very vulnerable myself, right? I like to. Same thing with my friends, right? Um, Nobody else is as vulnerable as I am, right? I'm very like very open with my fucking emotions and thoughts, and they know that. They fucking know that. But yet this guy somehow, I guess he just doesn't. I don't know, man. I feel like he just doesn't like authenticity. But then again, that's just my perception. I'm just yapping at that point. I got along with this guy, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if he's vulnerable. I've been vulnerable for I don't know how fucking long. If anything, I've been an easy person to walk all over for my friends. Not that I think about it, I've always been like that. Uh, this is a different topic for a different day, but I grew up fat most of my life, all my childhood until I don't know, I was about like 18, 19. And it definitely did have an effect on me in certain ways. That's one of the ways, I was like I said, I was got ran over. But back to this guy, right? I was like, let me see what can I get out of this fucking guy, right? We're in this lobby, we're in this fucking chat, and we're neutral, right? Somehow fucking neutral. This guy's not. He's talking to me normally. He's talking about the fucking World Cup game. He's talking about BR chat, right? I'm like, do you have any parents? Now, me myself, I'm a parent of. Oh, what? I'm not a parent, but I have two parents. Well, obviously they're my fucking parents, man. I have a mom and dad, right? They're both old school. They're both born in the 50s, 60s, man. So they're pretty old, man. I'm not gonna lie, I love my old people, but they're getting to that point. That's for sure another factor to, just me seeing my parents get older. It's definitely a big hit on me. Um, but I asked this guy, and you know what? I asked this guy, and the shit he said just my mind, right? You see my fucking head. It fucking and it folded and it just laid it out like fucking paper. Before it was just a box, right? It was just a box. I couldn't see inside the box. But now it's just unfolded itself, and that's all over it. The first fucking sentence this guy said just made me understand him completely. And it made me understand how it just made me understand how people okay, this guy, right? He said his mom was kidnapped by the cartel. Never saw her back. And then he said that his dad passed away. Or that he got taken. I'm sorry, I didn't listen to the last part of his father. Um, but the first thing he said that his mom got taken by the cartel, just immediately I completely understood this fucking guy. Immediately, I'm like, dude, that's why you act the way you fucking act. And I always thought about it that way. I'm like, why is he? If you met this guy and you got to know him really well, and you kicked him with our group, you would know. So negative, super fucking negative. You know, super negative. Even when he's being positive and you try to be positive, he's gonna be fucking negative. You know. I guess it does make sense. Positive equals negative. No, no, I don't fucking know. But and I got a quote, right? What you think about consistently is not private. It carves itself into the face over years, making legible what the soul has been occupied with beneath the surface. The lines on a man's face are a record. And that's what that pretty much that it stuck out with me with that him and that quote right there. And it's true, man. That damage, that trauma he had, right? He just spews it out. Like I said, it's easy to spew it online, right? So he just fire, bro. Just pure fucking. I'm over here shooting ice balls. This motherfucker got actual fire, bro. Like true trauma dump. Like true trauma, man. I have trauma myself, but not to that extent, brother. And that just made a whole much more fucking sense, right? And me finding that out, it just made me like the guy more. It's like, fuck, man. Like at least I commended him for at least being vulnerable. And the funny thing is, I guess I don't think he's ever been that vulnerable in front of anybody in terms of my group, because the guy's not only that, but he's old. We're, in my group, we're all 23, right? Same age. This guy's like 8 years older than us. So the fact I just feel like has never been that vulnerable in front of kids, right? I'm pretty sure he even mean to say that in front of me. It just came out of him naturally, right? Maybe that's just him. He's just an open book too. He does talk about a lot of shit. He talks a lot about a lot of shit. Um, at the end of the day, I love this guy, but my God, you had me, bro. If you're watching this fucking video, you had me thinking for the fucking longest, man. But now I truly understand you. And now that and now that I know this about this guy, now I'm gonna go if I ever come across somebody like him that's that negative and just trauma dumping and fucking shooting me with it, I'm gonna go straight into the motherfucker. You know, you feel me? I'm gonna straight dissect you. I'm gonna be vulnerable just so you can be more comfortable, so you can be vulnerable with me. I'm gonna find out what you truly are. You know, if you're being a dickhead to me, that is just, you're just gonna give me an automatic fucking an automatic answer, right? And it might be not accurate. It could be accurate, but I'm never gonna stop thinking like that now. Well, well, those are my thoughts, guys. I got anything else to fucking say?